I can't help but make stupid faces into this thing before it starts rolling. Uh, how's everyone doing? Thanks for tuning in to another video blog. I have had a long day. A long day of making out with dummies, doing my CPR recertification. So yes, I was literally making out with dummies all day today. It's exhausting. Anyway, so this video is I'm gonna try to make it under 10 minutes. It's not a rant, it's just a clarification. Let's talk about calories, because I just want to set the record straight for all the other videos that I do, that this kind of is just background material that you need to understand. This epidemic of people, and I'm talking about just like everyday people who, whether it be like arguing about crap on Facebook or forums, or people that message me, and I'm not trying to like single out, the people that have emailed me personally and asked me these questions, because I appreciate the questions and I actually want to get you the right answer. I'm just going to use like as an example because so many people have asked me this question. So don't feel like you're alone if you've sent me an email, and I don't feel like this video is just about you. So many people have been trying diets of whatever type, and they've been trying them for a long time, and they are banging their head against the wall, and they're super frustrated, and they think there's something wrong with them because they can't lose weight. And then when I ask them if what's their caloric intake, have they been counting any calories, can they give me any of that information? The answer is, I thought calories didn't matter. Okay, so calories matter. That's the first thing I just want to make clear. Where all this calories don't matter thing comes from, I don't really want to like start making accusations. That's not what this video is about. There's, some people told me that they've actually read it in an article or a book that they bought. Okay, so I'm going to say BS right there. And then other people, I think it's just their interpretation. So, a lot of people, it would be nice if calories didn't matter, right? So if you read something and it's like, oh, if you cut out these things, or your friend tells you like, I cut out wheat and I lost all this weight, sometimes you're like, oh, it's not the calories, it's the wheat, it's the ones they blame a food, or there's tons of diets right now where you can go online, you can find hundreds of them where it's like, cut out this, cut out that. Even when it comes down to just macronutrient composition of a diet, a lot of people are like, cut out carbs and calories don't matter. Calories matter no matter what kind of diet approach you are taking. For me, I think I'm going to keep a totally separate video about like actually cutting out specific foods. To me, cutting out specific foods is mainly for health reasons. If you actually have, like an allergy, or if you actually are legitimately celiac, we can get into that into another video. But what I want to point out is that, classic example, woman has a friend, she cut out wheat. Her friend lost a bunch of weight, so now the friend is thinking, okay, well, I gotta cut out wheat and I'm gonna lose weight. Well, she cuts out wheat, but then, she also realizes that I could substitute wheat with like all these like gluten-free products that I found at a local store, and, so I'm not eating wheat, so I'm gonna replace it with these products, and why aren't I losing weight? Well, you might have one person that cut out wheat and just, drastically lowered their carbohydrate intake, and calorie intake, because they eliminated that and they didn't substitute a lot of products. So they might actually get like a benefit from that approach. How they might see it as it was the wheat that was the issue, but really it was a calorie manipulation that they didn't really realize that they were doing. And, you get the person on the flip side of the coin where it's like, she went and found all these substitute products, and now she's not gaining any weight, or maybe not losing any weight, but maybe she's actually gaining weight, because you get that false belief that it's the wheat that's causing the problem. So you're eating all these substitute products, and they're really calorie dense. You could in fact be eating a lot more than you were. So I see that mistake happen with a lot of people. So The other thing is the macronutrient composition of a diet. You get the people arguing all the time, oh, if I go on a low carb, high fat diet, a lot of women that I talk to and men to, they just seem to believe that if they eliminate carbohydrates, they can eat all the fat in the world, all the calories in the world, and they should still lose weight. Not true. Okay, you can eat too much even if you take away one of your macronutrient groups, and that's the end of the story. I can't break it down any simpler for you. You can still eat too much if you eliminate all your carbohydrate intake. So that being said, with that whole scene of like, there's debates everywhere where it's like the mixed diet advocates and then the low carbers, and then you get the ketogenic dieters, and everyone seems to be arguing over is there a metabolic advantage on a low carb diet? Okay, so if you're into the research and that's what you do for a living, and you want to write articles and pick apart research and try to have studies done to answer these questions, then that's cool. But if you're the kind of person that really just wants to change their body composition, I'm going to argue that you don't get into these debates and waste your time, because regardless if there is or isn't a metabolic advantage, and there is plenty of research to argue both arguments there, regardless if there is or isn't, you still, when you adopt a diet, need to figure out where's a nice calorie deficit for you, where you can lose body fat and not get into the downward spiral of a lot of things that could happen when you're just cutting calories too low. So another thing I should point in this video is, like, when I say you have to have a calorie deficit, it shouldn't be something that's super, super drastic. So, I mean, this is something that's way more common than I thought. And that's why I wanted to make this video specifically just about if calories matter, because I was kind of naive. I just kind of thought everyone did understand that, like, when you read something about a diet, that you have to manipulate your calories. But apparently I was wrong, so that's okay. I'm totally cool with being wrong. So the other thing I wanted to point out was counting calories. And there's a saying that I do like, and it's, calories count, but you don't have to count calories. I like to say calories count, but you don't need to count calories all the time. You do need to do some kind of calorie counting, whether you're plugging into a calculator or whether you're just reading food labels and going by that and, having calorie targets per meal. You got to do some of that. There has to be some homework, some awareness, some education involved if this is something that you are going to tackle and that you're going to be able to handle and make wise food choices for yourself without being tied to some kind of food plan or, having someone make your meals for you. I mean, there's plenty of people out there who actually, hire meal services, which is fine, but it's not something that you have to do. Look at the bodybuilding world. Bodybuilders are professional body composition manipulators. That is what they do all the time. And I mean, if there was any magic diet, they would all be doing it. But, when they're off season, they're trying to gain muscle and they're trying to get bigger, they're eating a lot more food. Their calories are above maintenance. And they're going to gain muscle, and they're going to gain a little bit of fat too. And I think that's another thing I'm going to point out just now, is that gaining a little bit of fat when you put on some muscle is not the end of the world. You might actually learn to like the look of your ass with a little bit of fat on it if you just give it a try. That's anyway. And getting back to the bodybuilders, then when it comes time for a show, they're dieting. If someone decides that they're going to use a low carb diet, then that's their choice, but they still have to manipulate their calories within that protocol. So I think that kind of summarizes what I wanted to talk about today, which is simply calories matter. End of story. So whatever video that you see me post from now on, know that the context that I am speaking in is the fact that calories do matter. So that's all I got for you today. I gotta hit the sack. I'm exhausted. So you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.